Good Money Friday, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? It's a beautiful day to be alive, and it's a beautiful day to bet some basketball. Yesterday, let's recap it real quick. The cold streak is over. The cold streak, I repeat, is OVER. We finished 3-0 plus 3.85 units. Lynx Aces over 167.5. Cha-ching. Wings plus 5. Cha-ching. Wings Moneyline plus 185. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. That's 3 green check marks. Ladies and gentlemen, year to date, that moves us to 21 and 18 plus 5.97 units. Again, this is the Whoopin Bet Show presented by the Kota Sports Gambling Network. If you haven't followed the Whoopin Bet Show on Twitter, that's at Whoopin Bets. If you want to follow the network that we're a part of, you can follow them at Kota Cappers on Instagram and on Twitter. Now into today's slate of games. Let's go. We start with the first one of the day. We have the Fever plus 600. Take it on the Sun minus 13.5. The over/under 156 here. If you look at the public money here, 66% of the bets are on the Fever to cover this big number, and 52% of the money is on the Sun to cover this number. So for me, though, I could see going either way. I could see the Sun winning by 20. I could see the Fever keeping this win within 13.5. And when I have a game like that could go either way, I'm just going to distance myself from the spread, and let's check out the total. So for me here today in this game, I'm going to go with the total. Indiana just allowed, 186 points to the Dream in the last 2 games. In the game before that, they allowed 86 points to the Liberty. So for me, I like the over here. I'm gonna take the over in this contest. If you look at some more trends and stats and things like that, the Fever are 4-2 to the over this year, and 4 of their last 5 have hit the over. On the other side, you look at the Sun. The Sun averaged 82, 83 points per game so far this season, which is good for 3rd best in the league. So they're going to have no issues putting up points here against a Fever team, especially considering they're at home. I think they're going to put up a ton of points here at home. If you look at some more recent games from the Sun here, you'll notice one game that kind of stands out to me is that Liberty Sun game, where the Sun just killed the Liberty and put up 92-ish, something like that points. Held the Liberty to 60-ish some points. The over did end up hitting. I'm not going to say that I expect this Sun Fever game to be similar to that Liberty game, but if it is a blowout, like I think it might be, I could see it, being that. So as long as the Sun can get 85 points plus points, which I think they can, and if the Fever can, score in the high 60s, low 70s, I think that if my math is correct, I think that gets us our over. So again, I'm looking at the total here. I don't really like a side. So don't ask me which way I'd lean. But I think the total here is a little too low for my liking, so I will absolutely jump on it, over 156. So there's our first play of today. We got a second game on today's slate. The Mystics on the road taking on the Dream. The Dream are favorites here, minus 105, but on the money line, it's damn near a pick 'em. The Mystics minus 105, over under 159.5. When I initially looked at this line, I was like, it's got to be the Mystics right away, right? It's got to be the Mystics. It has to be the Mystics. I'm catching points on the road with the Mystics. Give it to me. But still, the Dream, you have to remember, are not the Dream of last year. They're not the Dream of a few years ago. This team has looked very solid through 5 games right now, and they're being pushed by some younger players. They're playing some solid defense. They're putting the basket in the hole. And this Dream team is no sloucher. Don't overlook this team. If I'm Washington, or if I'm even a bettor that wants to take a bet on this game, don't overlook this Atlanta Dream team. They're 4-1 against the spread, but they've yet to be a favorite. And they hear out tonight. I think that's an interesting point. I think that's the interesting note here. They have yet to be a favorite here. So again, they've been playing some stellar basketball, which is awesome, right? Which is phenomenal. But are the books getting ahead of themselves now? Are the books getting ahead of themselves and saying, this Dream team is legit. I think they can be a favorite at home against one of the best teams in the WNBA, one of the favorites to win the WNBA title in the Mystics. Now, again, I don't know if Del Don is playing yet. I haven't heard that news since we're doing this early in the morning. So just keep an eye on that. Again, if Del Don doesn't play, I still lean the Mystics in this one. I still think the Mystics can get this done on the road. And like I said, I was trying to look at some public money and stuff that all that stuff. I think if I pull it up here real quick, I could have swore that kind of all that stuff was 50-50, so that's why I didn't put it in my notes. But let me pull it up here real quick. So if you look at the public betting here between the Mystics and the Dream for tonight's game, you see 67% of the bets are on the Mystics, and the money-wise, it's 50-50. So again, I'm not going to look too much into that. You know, it should be the Mystics. Like I said, when I initially saw that, I thought it should be the Mystics. So I'm not surprised that 67% of the bets here are on the Mystics. But for me, I think I'm gonna go with the total here again. Some of these spreads in today's slate, I just didn't feel comfortable with. I didn't feel confident in. So I'm gonna go with the total here. If you look at Washington is 4-1 ATS. 4 of the last 5 games have gone under. Again, like I said, while I lean Washington in this one, I'm going to take the under 159.5 here. The Mystics aren't Indiana, right? So Atlanta just put up a bunch of points against the Fever. Atlanta isn't playing the Fever here tonight. This is a Mystics team that is one of the better teams, one of the best teams in the WNBA. So I don't think Atlanta's going to put up 85 to 101 points like they did the last 2 times out versus Washington here tonight. But both these teams rank top 4 in defense. In total defense, both these teams rank top 4 in the WNBA. So while I think Atlanta does have a chance to win this game, I absolutely do. I think Atlanta has a good chance to win this game outright. I 100% do. I just don't see this team. I just don't see both these teams, finishing in the 80s. I just don't. I think they'll finish both in the 70s. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. It'll be a battle to the end, and I'm going to take the under here, 159.5. So there we go. Kind of went dark there for a second, so sorry about that. But we're still grinding. We're still grinding. So we've taken 2 totals here, and we wrap things up here with a side, ladies and gentlemen. The Sparks plus 280 on the money line, taking on Seattle -8. The over/under 157 here tonight. Seattle may not be in prime season form, right? But Stewart's back. Epiphany Prince is back. They just came off a win against Chicago at home as 3.5-point underdogs. I know once the Stewart news came out, that did drop to 1.5. So hopefully you got it early in the day. But again, the Storm, the fact that they get 2 good players back, and Breanna Stewart was taken off the injury list late, right? So the fact that those 2 players just kind of jumped right in against a Sky and still won, I think that says something here. So the Sparks going on the road here, they just got beat by the Lynx. They don't look great this season. They haven't looked great this season. So with those players back in the lineup, with Stewart and Prince back in the lineup, I think this is an easy. I shouldn't say easy. Nothing is easy in this line of work, right? Nothing is easy. But if you look at the Storm, I think they get the cover here. Sparks 0-2 against the spread on the road, and they're 0-3 as an underdog. Now, if you look at what Seattle's done as a favorite, they're just 1-2 against the spread as a favorite. But again, they didn't have Stewart, they didn't have Prince. They do have those players back now. They're coming off an underdog cover. They're coming off a win, and -8 here I think is a gift. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes up to -10. Or do you think maybe it swings the other way? I think it might swing the other way. That's interesting. We'll keep an eye on that. But for right now, we like the Storm here. -8. I think they get it done at home. Another home game. They have some confidence with these 2 players back after they just got done taking down the Sky 84-81 at home. They're still at home. I like them to get the cover here, -8. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There's our 3 plays. We're 21-18 on the year, coming off a 3-0 night last night, plus 3.85 units. Again, real quick, if you just, for some reason, went to the end of the video and you didn't want to listen to any of my analysis, that's fine. Here's my plays. All I ask is at least hit the subscribe button. If you're going to do that, at least hit the subscribe button. So we're going to take the over here in the Fever and the, or no, yeah, right? Yeah, we're taking the over in the Fever and Sun, over 156.5. We're taking under in the Mystics versus the Dream, under 159.5. And then we're taking Seattle, -8. So there we go. There's our 3 plays here for the day, Friday, May 20th. Let's keep it going. 3-0 on Thursday, 3-0 today, and then who knows what Saturday and Sunday will bring us. But again, we got to finish what's in front of us right here, and that's today's slate. So again, at Whoopin Bets on Twitter, at Kota Cappers on Twitter. I'm Kota Capper Pace. 3-0 yesterday. Let's go 3-0 again today. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Peace.